Hello. In a series about historic buildings, it might seem odd to begin by talking about rabbits, but there is a connection. Rabbits are not native to Britain. They spread into France from Iberia, and for a long time it was thought they were introduced into England by the Normans. Recent finds near Thetford in Norfolk, securely dated to the 1st century, suggest they were introduced by the Romans. But with no evidence of rabbits in Anglo-Saxon England, it's likely they died out and were then reintroduced after the Norman conquest. It's hard to believe now when rabbits are so prolific and widespread, but it took a long time before they became naturalised. Initially they had to be pampered and provided with specially constructed artificial burrows, long low mounds that can survive as earthworks and are generally referred to by archaeologists as pillow mounds. Inevitably, some animals escaped and survived, but rabbits only spread successfully in the wild in this country in the 18th century. In the medieval period, rabbits were kept by the landed gentry and bred for food and fur, kept in walled enclosures known variously as coney garths, coney from Old French for rabbit, a term that survives in place names, or warrens from Anglo-French warren. Occupational surnames of coney, warren and warrener are not uncommon today and refer back to the keepers. Medieval manuscripts from the early 14th century show rabbits being hunted in their warren by aristocratic ladies armed with nets and ferrets. Warreners tended to be well paid, not so much because their job was particularly arduous, but to compensate for an element of danger. Warrens were valuable and there was an export trade in rabbit skins. It made them a very profitable target for poachers, and lots of cases are recorded in court rolls. Warreners lived on the job in order to provide round-the-clock protection for their charges. Few Warreners' cottages have survived in anything like their original state. A warren at Kimbolton in Cambridgeshire is first recorded in 1373. Timber-framed Warren House probably dates to the early 17th century, when the estate here, belonging to Kimbolton Castle, was the seat of the Dukes of Manchester. It's a rare example of a warren keeper's cottage. The picturesque facade was added for effect and to improve the prospect in the 18th century, and since then it has remained virtually unchanged. Architects John Vanbrugh, Nicholas Hawksmoor, Thomas Archer and Robert Adam all worked on Kimbolton Castle, and any one of them may have contributed to the design of the decorative facade. The Warren House is typical of the design of Warreners' lodges. Two-storey, with a single room on each floor and several windows affording good all-round views. The building was given to the Landmark Trust in 2005 and renovated in 2011 and 2012. A cottage for a more traditional gamekeeper was acquired by the Landmark Trust in poor repair in 2001 at Old Warden in Bedfordshire. Old Warden formed part of an estate developed by the Cistercian monks of Warden Abbey. The land passed to the Crown after the abbey was dissolved. In the 1690s it was bought by Samuel Ongley, a draper who made money investing in the South Sea Company, cashing in at the top of the market before the bubble burst. In the 1870s it became the property of another self-made businessman keen to enjoy the life of a country squire, Joseph Shuttleworth, a manufacturer of steam engines. Shuttleworth employed architect Henry Clutton to design a new mansion and local builder John Usher to work simultaneously on the estate cottages. Usher designed the keeper's house for the estate gamekeeper in what is known as cottage orne style, a kind of picturesque rustic. It's red brick and render with a jetted gable. The timbering is decorative rather than structural. The roof half-hipped with fish-scale tiles, a terracotta ridge with finials and an ornate chimney. gamekeepers typically lived outside the main house rather than in servants' quarters, and were frequently up all night keeping watch for poachers. The Shuttleworths were field sports enthusiasts. Large numbers of pheasant and partridge were bred to supply the shoot. Keeper's Cottage has been fully restored by the building preservation charity the Landmark Trust, along with outbuildings where, for example, dogs were kennelled and chicks hatched, offering those who choose to stay here in this unusual holiday let a rare glimpse into a vanished world. Next time I'm going to take a look at a former lock keeper's cottage from the heyday of the canal network. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can subscribe by clicking on the rose window over my shoulder.